Hello, everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank you for staying here and then listening our presentation. I think you did a good job to stay and listen what kind of opportunities are available right now in Uzbekistan, and most probably you'll be very much motivated to invest in the country. So let's move on to the details. I'm a deputy chairman in Almalyk Mining and Metallurgical Complex. This company was established 70 years ago, so we have been operating very stable last 70 years. So the number of employees is more than 35,000, and then the revenue is around $3 billion in 2021. We are producing more than 100 different items, and the export is $1.1 billion per annum. And when we're talking about $1.1 billion per annum, it doesn't actually consider the gold production, because gold is strictly sold to the government, central bank, and central bank take care of that. So we're not putting into balance sheet. And then we produce copper. We're the main copper producer in Uzbekistan. Over 90% of the copper produced by Almalyk Mining and Metallurgical Complex. Today it makes 148.5 thousand tons per annum. And we produce 17 tons of gold. And we also produce zinc, 1,100 tons of zinc and silver. And we also produce many different materials or metals like molybdenum and tungsten and wolfram. So basically there are many different types of metals or materials are produced. Today we have 3 open pit mines and then 4 underground mines. Underground mines are mainly used for gold production. And open pit mine is used mainly for copper production. We have today 5 processing plants, so concentrated plants, and then 2 metallurgical complexes. What you can see here is the resource base. Our copper resource is 45 million tons of copper, which is actually enough with the current capacity of production for 350 years. And we are massively increasing the production capacity. If it's today 148.5 thousand tons, in 2028 it will be 400,000, and in 230 it will be 500,000. Even at that time, it's enough for another 110 years. So it's the mine life is quite long, and it's very stable. We are still working on the investigation. We're doing further drilling. You can see 45 million tons of copper resource today, but in December we will be issuing another report. So the copper resource base will be 50 million tons of copper. The same applies for gold. Today we are the first in the world when it comes to open mine having such a big resources. There's gold, and we're 6th place when it comes to copper. Then the volume of ore is 19.1 billion tons of ore. So basically we are number 3 in the world. As you know, the open pit mine makes it cheaper and it's easier if you compare it to underground mines. That's the advantage today what we have. I also have to outline that the content of the ore is like 0.36% of copper. I mean, if you really look into it, it looks quite small if you compare it to Chile, for example. But we have a lot of accompanied products, byproducts. It's like gold, as I said, and we have molybdenum and then tungsten and different materials, which makes it again cheaper when it comes to the standard cost. And one very important thing is the Almalyk here. As you can see here on the right side, this is an operational open pit mine. It has been operated over 70 years. So the width is 2 kilometers and length is 4 kilometers, depth is 600 meters. And another new project we have right now, it's called Yashlik 1. So it's just next on the left side where you can see. From 2017 we have started the stripping activities, and from next year we will be extracting ore, and then we will be getting copper from that open pit mine as well. And in 2028 those 2 open pits will be merged into one. There's another interesting statistics I would like to highlight. This is the concentrator plant. As of now we're running as I said, Yoshlik 1 project, where we are building also copper concentrating plant, basically copper processing plant. The capacity of the processing plant will be 60 million tons of ore per year. And this will be the largest processing plant. And then we will have another project, which is also called MO4. Basically, it's another new processing plant with also 60 million tons of ore processing. And then, as you can see, in 2028, our Almalyk mining and metallurgical complex will be #1 in terms of ore processing worldwide. The idea is not to set a world record. The idea is to run after the profits, because we can see very big potential. And Uzbekistan's the standard cost is also lower, and it gives a lot of potential to increase the capacity. That's why the investment portfolio actually for 2030 is $15 billion. So it's a huge amount of money where government is willing to invest, and at the same time government is willing to attract more investors to come and join the journey. I don't need to mention certain things like copper will be very important going forward, because the renewable will be using 5 times more. I think you all know that. And then many companies or countries are running after copper production, and the same is happening also in Uzbekistan. Here some details of Yoshlik project, what we have been doing so far. The project started or kicked off from 2017, when our president Shavkat Mirziyoyev came to Almalyk Mining and Metallurgical Complex, and he also announced that going forward the company will be not very highly regulated from government, but it will stay open. So from that time, actually, we started unleashing the potential of the company. But before that, it was highly regulated by government, and all the data related to the company was not available in publicly. But today it's available, and we have been cooperating with many of the international companies. SRK Consulting has been also cooperating with us since 2018. They have been also doing a lot of investigation when it comes to drilling activities, and then investigating the resources that we have in the mine. Here you can see that last 4 years we purchased more than 600 units for $415 million. An EPC contract has been signed in 2021, so we have started building a processing plant, and the budget for this processing plant is altogether it's $4.8 billion. Then we're also building substations for electricity. We estimate have a forecast of electricity consumption by 2030 will be around 2 gigawatts. So then we're also interested in building solar panels. Actually, we're already working on the solar plants. We have been also going with a tender process where international companies can come along and they can also participate. Basic engineering also started for metallurgical complexes. Today we have a metallurgical complex that should be expanded. There are 2 phases of expansion. And then as of now, more than $1.9 billion has already invested into the project. And you can see several phases of to-do lists in the Yoshlik. But you can, here, what's important is midterm. You cannot see new copper processing plant, which is CCP4, which will be done in 2026. And then you cannot see also the expansion of a metallurgical complex, which is a smelter, in 2027-28. These are also coming there, also in the pipeline. And deliverables, you can see the increase actually from 2022 to 2028, it's from 148,000 to 400,000 tons of copper, of cathodes. And then you can also see the gold production will increase from 17 tons to 50 tons of gold production. And then silver and molybdenum, basically they're also increasing in the same proportion. One of the important things I would like to highlight is the technological gas outlets. As you can see, we're also focusing a lot on ESG. It has been discussed a lot about ESG, and we're also putting very high focus on ESG. It's on the highest point you can say on our agenda. And then the gas outlet is going from 25% to 0.5%. Here you can see what we have been doing in terms of ESG from environmental perspective and social and governance. But I don't want to just specify the details because there are so many things I would like to highlight. Later you can see also the presentation. You can see where we're spending a lot of money on ESG. It's from net profit we're spending 5 to 8% of net profit. So it is today around from 45 to 50 million US dollars per annum. So it's including the environment, including like social activities. Even we're investing in kindergarten, schools. We're heavily supporting the society in Almalyk, in total in the country, because Almalyk is not only Almalyk Mining and Metallurgical Complex is not only in Almalyk city. It's located in 5 different regions of Uzbekistan. It's in Namangan, Tashkent region, in Angren city, Almalyk city, then it's Surkhandare region, and Jizak region. So there are several regions where we are participating, and we are constantly expanding the scale of the company in terms of production. And you can see we're putting a lot of focus on the cost cutting. Cost cutting not in terms of just cut the cost, but increase the efficiency. It is super important. That's where we are trying to cut the cost and saving from electricity and natural gas. And well, you can also see only in 2021, 2% reduction in pollutant emissions also happened. And we're also putting very high focus on the recycling of the waste product. We have a very important topic, which is water resource management. For our metallurgy, it's important, the water. I think you all know that. And we're also putting too much effort on that. And today we're working with different German companies and institutes, for example, Dresden Technical University and then Freiburg Academy. They're also cooperating and collaborating in terms of water resource management and then different other research. Transformation. Since 2017, we have immediately started the transformation phase because we have been highly regulated, we were very closed, and then we opened up to the global market. We have started working in different directions. Everything went in parallel. We didn't try to put into phase 1, phase 2, but we started running in many different directions in parallel. Here you can see a copper cluster has been established. Actually, it was established this year. We don't want that Uzbekistan regarded as a raw material export country. We want to be regarded as like we are producing raw materials and we're also producing value-added products and finished products, and then we're exporting. That's on the agenda on the governmental level. That's why it has been established copper cluster, where I will also give you some details what kind of benefits we're giving or what kind of incentives are provided by the government. And you can also see we have a long-term strategy for 2030 has been developed together with Canadian company Hatch. An IFRS report has been issued since 2020 or 2019. It has been issued for the last 3 years. So basically we're implementing all international standards into our company. And we're very JORC compliant when it comes to the resource-based calculation. And the ESG reports has been issued for the last 2 years. It has also already been issued for 2021. We are doing together with KPMG, and then PwC is also auditing this report. The procurement system has also been audited several times by different companies. Like again, Big Four has been heavily involved in the auditing process. And then market valuation of long-term assets has also been done because Almalyk Mining and Metallurgical Complex is not trying to stay always state-owned. We're already trying to consider going into IPO, but it's coming in a couple of years. And measures to improve operational efficiency is also happening today, and we have already received the ratings, credit ratings. As you can see from Fitch, we received 3 months ago, it's BB-, which is stable. And we also received from S&P Global. It was earlier like B+. It was at COVID time, but now it's in the process being reviewed. Yeah, very quickly, okay. Digitalization is also very important for us because it comes together with all the technology, and then we're putting too much effort on that, and ERP is super important. We have already ERP, but we're slowly moving to SAP because the company is very large, and then small ERP products cannot cover the company's full capacity. And then here, very important, it's copper cluster I want to talk about. As you can see, we are right now expanding ourselves to produce more finished products, and then I want to highlight this important part is rare and non-ferrous material. We have been talking to Dresden Technical University. As you know, Dresden is considered to be the largest, actually, the semiconductor producer or chip production in Dresden is the largest in Europe. Basically, every second chip is produced in Dresden, and so we have been also communicating with that. So we can produce. We are planning to produce tellurium, selenium, and tungsten with a very high purity. And at the same time, copper cluster zone is very critical for you also to understand. Here I highlighted what kind of exemptions are available from government, how government is supporting. You can see tax exemptions, proper tax exemption, land tax exemption, and the country is also supporting in terms of transportation. Some of the transportation costs will be covered. And then you can also see the savings or the cost associated with employees and water and then electricity. You can see. So there is a high potential to come in here. Basically, Almalyk Mining and Almalyk Mining Metallurgical Complex is supporting joint ventures. So any investor can come and join us only from one angle, just to diversify the risk. If any investor who wants to come and then do a private investment, you are more than welcome. You are most welcome. But if you see some kind of a risk or you want to diversify, then our company is willing to participate in the journey, and then we're ready to build even facilities in the cluster. And it's located only 20 kilometers away from the company. And another advantage is all the mines are very close to the populated area. So it's not located in the middle of desert or somewhere. So it's very easy to attract people who is willing to work in the company. Basically, that's it. I could talk for another hour. But if you have any questions, then we can discuss in details. Thank you very much.